Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 908. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, here at the last place on Earth, located somewhere in Castro Valley. Today, the finale of my Into an Interview with Michael Shaw of the band An Intimate Evening with Michael Shaw. We go crazy over talking about what bands we're nuts about. We talk about the band Jellyfish.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And here's some great music from Michael Shaw. Plus we hear from Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, the Brewmaster, and we dish.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
On stuff. I've discovered something about comedy that seems very true. I know a guy who makes me laugh my butt off, which is hard to do. Yet I know other people think this guy's intense and will lose his cool. But 9 out of 10 stories this guy tells leave me falling off my stool. Don't you love people who laugh at their own jokes?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That would be me. Ha ha ha. You can't force yourself to laugh. A fake laugh is gross.
Mike's
Laugh for real.
Daily
Bring it in for the real thing.
Podcast.
Hang out with intense people.
Yeah!
And they have funny stories to tell you, which will make you laugh, and that's good. Oh, look who just walked in.
Hi, Mike. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. Hi, how you doing?
It's a disgruntled fiddle player tell you what.
What?
I really hate entitled, privileged young people.
You mean the youth, like you were. Utes.
What?
Utes. Like you used to be a Ute at one time.
Okay, I think you're out creeping out me right now.
I think what I'm doing is pointing out to you that, in fact, we've all been young. We've all fallen short of the glory of God. Wait, not quite what I was going for, but yes, I've enjoyed comedy. I think the comedy that I enjoy, going back to the song that I sung, is I love the intense, the sort of in your really loud type of thing. I don't necessarily like expletives all the time, although they will make me laugh, but this guy makes me laugh just with these stories he tells. He gets so frustrated and angry. He was telling me this story about a girlfriend he had who he's really into cars. And he couldn't believe how she just wore out the cars that she owned. She would buy brand new cars, and within like a year, these cars would be breaking down. And he couldn't figure out why. And then he saw he was driving with her one time, and he's like, oh my God, this girl is flooring it every time the light turns green. She's riding right on the butts of everybody, tailgating everyone, and then speeding up to the stoplights. She's slamming on the brakes. All that kind of thing.
Mike, that gal sounds like a lot of fun. I want to hang out with y'all.
Yeah, she does sound like a lot of fun.
Mark, this is just silly right now. You should bring someone else in right now. I'm out creeping you now.
You are quite creepy. We enjoy him. Why are the youth entitled?
Well, they just act like they know everything. And everything they say is wrong. So
they're right about the start. Oh, did you see that? Have you seen that commercial for Intel, where there's this young guy, with hair, which right off the bat, is very disturbing to me because I don't have it. I did at one time. Okay, I guess I can connect with him on that level. I had hair at one time. I understand what he has. So he goes in to get a computer, and he's like, hey, I'm looking for a computer for college. And right there, everything sounds normal. Everything sounds boring. Everything sounds like I've heard 1,000 times a young person wanting to get a computer. Although back in my day, we did have computers, but they were huge and they were sitting in, you could only use them in the computer lab, which we had a computer lab if you wanted to use them. You'd walk in and you'd go, help, don't understand what's going on. So the guy is going in this computer commercial to get a computer, and he says, yeah, for college and for my startup. So that's another fascinating thing about millennials. They're all doing startups, and they can communicate by brainwaves, and they can speak to the stars, as I've spoken to before, as in the galaxy, the clusters of hot gas that are high above us in another million light years away from us.
Okay, now you're out creeping me again.
Once again, yay. So right. So if you want to, we didn't bring in the Brewmaster. Let's bring him in right now.
Hello there, Mac. I'm the Brewmaster.
Brewmaster, that's pretty much done. So yeah, what do you think about the stars and being able to speak by mind control? And by the speeding up, are you one of those people that speed up to stop signs? And do you think that youth are entitled? And do you think that some people are funny when they're telling their stories and they're really loud, like me right now?
Mike, I need earplugs. You're so loud. I gotta go. Bow, bow, my sensitive ears.
I was about to say the same thing. You can email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. We read your comments in the section emails from email, and your common, not so comments. You can comment on the Twitter @Mike Talks, also on Facebook, facebook.com/mikesdailypodcast. And go to mikesdailypodcast.com, where you can find links to where to listen to the show in iTunes. Comment on the show and rate the show there. More people find out about us if you do that, and we don't languish in obscurity. You can also find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, TuneIn, Stitcher, Podomatic, Mixcloud, Spreaker, Player FM, and Ameristream Live. And I'm doing the country music weekends, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. I mean, it's a huge variety. It's sort of like the country classic music meets the hit country music from the 90s meets the bro country, a little bit of the bro country, and then we play some Americana, the K-Pig, Freedom, California stuff. K-Pig is south of the Bay Area and near Santa Cruz. They got great music they play all the time. So it's a mix of all that, and you can hear that weekends, and the link is at mikesdailypodcast.com. I hate when my nose is itchy. I've discovered recently that I've got this Johnny Carson tick. That Johnny Carson used to do a thing when he would do his stand-up where he would take his hand and bring it up to his nose and like cover his mouth and then like wipe his nose, and he would use that as sort of his thing. And I realized I do the same thing when I get nervous. When I meet people for the first time and I'm a little uncomfortable, I'll do that. Isn't that weird?
Mark, no, that's slightly attractive.
Thank you. And then we're also on the Instagrams, the Yelps, and the Tumblrs. You can find us there, as well as if you want to help out the show and become an inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster and have all these wonderful Cafe Anyway characters send you an MP3 for thee. You can do that by being a Mike's Daily Podcaster. You can find that link at mikesdailypodcast.com. And also, if you're doing any shopping on Amazon and you want to help us out when you're doing your shopping, go through the Amazon link first at mikesdailypodcast.com. The blog, the Daily Podcast picture, and all my past interviews are there as well. Speaking of interviews,
Into an interview.
I'm speaking with Michael Shaw. An intimate evening with Michael Shaw. I hit record before he started talking about Shambles because I know he's going to tell me about Shambles, and because I was going to play the song. And this is mucho Lennon-esque. This song to me, very it's Lennon-licious. It's got
Lennon-licious. Lennon-licious. Yeah, I like this one. This was one of the first songs that I wrote, actually. Yeah. I love it. I mean, I love all of these songs, but of course, you know, I'm biased. Shambles is basically about an alcoholic, and you know, like they're people that I know. Like I said, every song on this record is about someone. So this is about a friend of mine who just couldn't handle his drink, and he just ruined his life, and now he's living in his car, living out of his car.
Oh, man.
He lost his wife, and he has 2 little kids, and it's a really sad tale. And, you know, I always try to, you know, in the lyric department, I'm not much of a lyricist, so what I try to do is, like, bring actual reality into the lyrics. So, you know, there's a lyric in there, Daddy's in a grumble. once again, and that is actually his daughter's terminology. Daddy's in a grumble, and she would talk about Daddy being in a grumble whenever he was drunk.
Oh man!
You know, so I tried to bring that in and like really just kind of, you know, not use my lyrics, because I think, you know, like just grabbing those little slices of life, just change the song up and just give it a little something extra. Like Daddy's in the grumble. I mean, it's not even a real word, I don't think. Grumble? Well, maybe it is.
I've never heard
but
it.
Like Daddy's in a grumble.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love that I was able to, you know, take those little pieces and get them into the song. I like the music of it. I love the slide guitar in that. I mean, it just kind of makes it just like really dreamy. And then, you know, I really wanted to make it shambolic musically, so we did that thing at the end where we just kind of slowed it down.
Yes.
You know,
like it's falling into shambles.
Yeah, because that's literally, well, that's not literally, but that's what happened in real life. I mean, his life turned into a shambles. So,
wow.
Yeah,
and you have little bells.
Pretty sad story.
You have little bells in the interlude. They sound like bells. Or is it?
There's a little glockenspiel in there. Yeah. Yeah. We were doing some overdubs, and my guitar player Eli co-produced the record with me, and he's like, "Really? I mean, every hipster indie band uses those things now." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I don't care. We're gonna put them in there because they need a little something." But
and who's your drummer? Do you have
who's the drummer?
Yeah,
Kenny Hard. Have you heard of a band called the Love Maker? They're kind of a Live 105 band from a few years ago.
Oh. That's another band, radio station in the Bay Area.
Yeah, Live 105. Yeah, exactly. It's the big modern rock or whatever. I don't know what the exact radio terminology is these days, but modern rock kind of radio. And he plays with them. Great drummer, solid. He's got such a great drum kit too. Not to geek out on that, but he's got a beautiful AOT kit, which is it sounds amazing. Yeah, he's been a friend of mine. I've played with him in bands for years.
And tell me about the album name. This Is It. It's called This Is It, right?
Yep. This Is It with a period. Well, I liked This Is It because it either was going to be, you know, it could either mean like, here you go, this is it. It could also, there's a reference to finality to it, you know, like this is it. I mean, this could be my last record. I don't know.
No.
I mean, I'll always make music, but I don't, you know, who knows? I don't know how long this thing can go. Because these guys in my band, and I love, and I've known them for years, and there's deep mutual respect. But, you know, they're in other bands as well. And, you know, I want to keep this thing going. So we'll see what happens.
And because you call it an intimate evening with Michael Shaw, it has this sense of it could last for as long as Michael Shaw is alive.
Exactly.
Which I hope is a long time.
Well, you know, Mike, think about it. When I'm old and gray, I could retire to Vegas and I could be a lounge singer, you know, and I could still use the moniker an intimate evening with Michael Shaw. So it's very all-purpose.
Is that a dream? Is that a dream you have? Las Vegas?
No, you know what my dream is, actually? And the only guy, I've never told anybody this, other than my band. I would love to join a barbershop quartet because I love singing so much and I love harmony. Ooh. I love harmonizing. I would love to join a barbershop quartet. It's just, you know, where am I going to do that?
I have to ask you then this. Wait, is it all you? All these harmonies, just you, or do you have anybody else joining in?
No, Colin, our bass player, and Eli are singing like that. We wanted. I do have additional vocals on there. But it's basically like when you see us live, it's the three of us harmonizing.
Oh, wow.
And that's what I wanted whenever I started this band. I'm like, I want to have these guys playing, and I want 3-part harmonies.
Yeah.
So So yeah, no, we're all singing on the record.
Would you have to grow a really funny mustache to be in the Barbershop Quartet?
I think you do, and that's why I probably will never be in one.
And wear stripes.
And you got to wear those straw hats.
And you had to be a beautiful baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know if I could do that whole thing, but I love that vocal harmony, man. It's so good. You know, it's Jimmy Fallon. Sometimes he does a little barbershop stuff on the Tonight Show.
Oh,
I don't know if you've seen that.
He's too talented,
but
that
it's
guy.
So great, and he just looks like he's having a ball doing it too.
He's so musically there. You know, he can do impressions of people. And he does the rap
like the
stuff.
Neil Young thing, and I mean, it's crazy.
I think
I would love to have Jimmy, like the whole. He's such a huge music fan. You can really feel that, right? When you watch the show, because he does so many different things related to music, and he had, when he does the lip sync contest and stuff, and he brings all these people. I mean, how much fun would that be?
Right.
I just think he has the greatest job in the world.
I love watching little segments like that he uploads to YouTube. I don't like watching the whole show. I'll watch like the little. I'll go, oh, he did a lip sync contest with Paul Rudd. I need to watch that.
Right, yeah. Paul Rudd was awesome, by the way.
Or he had Robert Plant on, and they got one of those iPads and started doing a loop on it, and I think they sang "The Lion Sleeps Tonight." No, that was with Billy Joel. They did some song.
That was Billy Joel. Yeah.
And Billy Joel.
That one too.
And Billy Joel must love that song because he did that song in the middle of the night. I don't have a drum loop machine here, and we can't do that right now. And you wouldn't want to have me sing with you because your voice is so. I'm bowing down to you. I'm not worthy, is what I'm doing because your voice is great.
I don't know about that.
Where did this great singing voice come from? Is this something? Did you also take the singing lessons with the big boobed nail piano teacher, Mrs. Booby Trap?
No, so I got a good little story for you. So you probably don't know who these guys are, but I'm a big fan of this band called Jellyfish. Right?
Oh my God! You just said the magic word Wait, hold on. Jellyfish, because my friend Steve Spees, who lives in Foster City, is a huge Jellyfish fan, and he one day did the exact same thing you just did, where I don't think you know this band, but there's Jellyfish, and baby's coming back, and I'm on my best behavior. I love them. They're great.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, they're amazing. So anyway, a buddy of mine works up at George Lucas's ranch, right? And he works with Chris Manning. Chris Manning was the original bass player, right? So Chris Manning was the bass player. Roger Manning, his brother, was the keyboard player, and now Roger Manning is Beck's musical director. Anyway, so I wanted to have Chris Manning produce the record. So I asked my buddy, I'm like, hey, can you set up a lunch? So I went up to George Lucas's ranch, and we had lunch with Chris Manning, and he was a super cool guy, and I was kind of geeking pretty hard on Jellyfish, but I was trying to keep it under control. And he's like, all right, well, yeah, so look, sounds like we're into the same kind of stuff, and blah, 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 and we talked about recording technique, all that kind of boring stuff. And then he's like, okay, well, just, send me a rehearsal tape of your songs. And so we did. And long story short, there was a bottle of Maker's Mark being passed around at rehearsal that night, and we were just kind of like, oh, let's bust this out quickly for Chris Manning so he can kind of hear what's going on. And we were a little sloppy. We sent it to Chris, and Chris was very diligent and very professional. I've got nothing bad to say about him at all. But he basically told me that we weren't ready to record, and, have you thought about taking singing lessons? It sounded like you were kind of phoning it in, and I didn't have the heart to tell him, well, I had probably, probably like five or six whiskeys by the time, we got around to recording that rehearsal tape for him. So he didn't do it. We just ended up self-producing. But as far as vocal training, this is what I did. I went in we did the basics at this amazing studio overlooking Stinson Beach. It's on the flanks of Mount Tamalpais. It's beautiful. Bunch of people, like My Morning Jacket recorded there. Borns just did his new record there. He's kind of like a big buzzworthy artist. Bunch of people are recording their stuff there. The word's gotten out. Anyway, so what I do is I go over to my buddy's house, Rob, and to do my vocals. We did them over the course of a couple of weeks, just like a couple of nights here and there. And I just go in there and I'm like, Rob, make me a shotini. So a shotini is basically a martini with a little dirt and a twist of lemon. And yeah, I get a little warmed up on the first martini, and then I'd have two, and I was ready to go. And I just kind of went into the vocal booth and went crazy. So I was basically like pretty drunk when I did all the vocals.
Wait a minute. So you basically, what the advice from Jellyfish Guy did not in any way faze you. You said, screw it, I want to be drunk whenever I sing and record, even though I was... But it seemed to... I can't tell you're drunk in the recording on This Is It.
No, you can't. You can't. But honestly, I know that in Rain Cloud, I sound drunk in Rain Cloud. I can hear it.
But
to the average listener is not going to hear it.
Maker's Mark gives you a different drunk than Martini's, I guess. Martini's more singing.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is, man. Like, I'm in the studio, so I've got headphones on, and the mix is perfect, right?
Yeah.
I can hear myself. But in rehearsal, can't really hear myself. I'm not really pushing it. I had whiskey. I was just like, let's just kind of, get it out so you can hear the songs.
Yeah.
I wasn't really concerned about, like, giving him the best performance, but obviously I should have.
Well, maybe he brushed you off because he wanted to devote more time to collecting jellyfish, actual jellyfish.
Memorabilia.
No, he wants...
So you know Jellyfish then?
Yeah.
You have both of their records?
Well, I know the songs really well. I know the one like, I wanna stay home today. I wanna stay. Yeah. But I don't... Is that the second album or is that the first one?
That's the first.
Ah.
That's on Belly Button.
What was the second one?
Spilt Milk.
Spilt Milk, okay.
What's the name of the record?
Did they only do two?
Yeah, they only did two.
And didn't they just have an anniversary for one of those? Or something
I don't know.
Well, maybe I need to get those albums then.
Yeah, you should get them. Who else do you listen to?
I love Michael Penn. I'm a Michael Penn.
Really? Okay, I don't really know a lot of his stuff, but I do, Romeo Black Jeans. That was like
yeah! You do that?
Do you like that song?
I love No Myth.
Oh, No Myth. Yeah.
What if I were Romeo in Black Jeans? Yeah, I love that song.
But what's his best album?
That's a good question. Well, I listened to the first one over and over again. That's
the one that has No Myth on it.
Yeah, but okay. I also
like that out.
He also did one called what is it? It's like Undocumented or something like that. That had this song. He was channeling David Bowie in it. You might like it. It's like the last song on the album, and it has this kind of a thunderous sort of Bowie feeling, like it builds and builds, and I think he would be a fan of yours if he heard your stuff, Michael Penn. But right now I'm on an intimate evening with Michael Shaw kick, and I'm going to listen to This Is It, as should the person that's listening now. Listen to This Is It, and where can they find your album?
On iTunes or Spotify. I think it's on Amazon Music too, on a bunch of other stuff, but those are the only two that I remember. So its website is www.aiews.com.
Oh,
or you can just Google An Intimate Evening with Michael Shaw, and it will come up.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to check it out, and I'm going to play your song Shambles right now on Mike's Daily Podcast. Thank you, Michael Shaw.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, I need to take a swig of my Maker's Mark. Hold on. Or my martini with the whatever. What did you put in your martini?
little dirt and a little twist of lemon.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I don't know what to do and then I lie. Who's to blame? Is it you or me? It's such a shame. Now everyone knows that's how it goes. It's a shambles. It's a shambles. Something's wrong. Daddy's in the crumble once again. Yeah, I could try, but tomorrow's just another day to die. Yeah, day to die. Now everyone knows that's how it goes. It's a shambles. It don't make much sense. It's a shambles. Just give me another chance. It's a shambles. Don't you know I love you so? It's a shambles, but love is feeling it's a shame.